First of all, I guess, just give me your general assessment, your office's assessment of the fiscal situation within the Government of Canada.
So we forecasted that last year's deficit for the year that ended in March would be about $335 billion, which is probably the highest deficit on record. We don't know whether we hit the mark or not because the minister and the government has not yet released the final numbers for 2020-2021, which is usually done in September or October. And here we are waiting for the update, and we still don't have that number. That being said, it wouldn't be surprising if the final number came in better than expected. So a deficit that could be slightly lower than what we expected to be $335 billion. So that's for last year. For this year, we expect the deficit to be about $140 billion. But again, that will depend on the evolving situation, especially when we consider Omicron, and depending on whether the government is spending more than we anticipated last time we updated our fiscal projections, and that was just before the federal election. So we are due to update these early in the new year in 2022, but the latest fiscal and economic projections that we have released indicate a deficit that'll be in the $130 to $140 billion range for the current fiscal year, which should go on decreasing, assuming the government doesn't spend more, which is remains to be seen, I would say.
Yes, of course, we know that minority governments tend to spend a little bit more money than the majority governments just to grease the skids and get past Parliament on some of these issues. Aside from that, though, that's a political comment. I'm interested in your analysis whether this $140 billion number, is that due to increased economic activity, increasing the taxation coffers of the government, or is it a reduction of spending by the government, or is it a combination of both?
It is mostly due to the reduction in extraordinary temporary spending related to COVID-19, which we estimated will amount to well over $300 billion over a couple of years, mostly the first year and to some extent the second year of COVID-19, so last year and this year. So it's mostly due to that, but there is also one element of reduced revenues, especially on the personal, corporate, and to a lesser extent the GST, but mostly income taxes, which saw a small dip. But what we found as the numbers came in over time was that the dip in revenues was smaller than we expected. So when the economy was put in lockdown early in the pandemic, we expected a catastrophic decline in government revenues, but it didn't turn out to be as bad as initially expected. So all that to say, the shift from a deficit of over $300 billion to something that's smaller but still high, 130-something billion dollars, that is mostly due to the winding down of extraordinary COVID-19 support programs.
Any understanding why the revenue loss was not as big as people thought it was going to be? Was it people finding a way to earn money in the economy, or what was going on?
Well, it's probably something that we will still have to decipher or look at over the coming months. But it seems to be that the economy was more resilient than we expected. So even though people and the economy was in lockdown for significant segments of the economy, people still managed to work and be productive. The government support also contributed to sustaining the economy and generating some revenues because people still had an income, those that were laid off, and they were able to continue to spend. And there's also probably an element of borders being closed,
right,
with Canada being a net importer or exporter of tourists.